Hello guys, this is not going to be a reaction video. I did do a reaction video yesterday where I looked at a compilation of people getting into unnecessary and fierce fights in the plane, especially that clip where there was a lady talking to a group of police officers and then the officer said, "Don't touch me," and the lady said, "Don't touch me," and then she hit the police and she was getting handcuffed. So this is actually going to be a story video, which has become rare for these days, but I'll do a story time video. And in this video, I'll talk about my first driving practice. In the US, I have been doing driving practices at certain times. At first, I was doing it only on Mondays, but then I went to do a thing that I would do it on Mondays and Fridays. My first driving practice in the US was on April 24th, 2023, but that wasn't the day that I did my first ever driving practice. The day that I did my first ever driving practice, I was on vacation with my father, and at times I would like to practice driving in isolated areas. And so it was a hot sunny day on August 21st, 2020. The previous day, we had started our vacation by making a 10-hour road trip to a camping site in Datça, Turkey. And the next day, August 21st, we rented bikes like any other first day that we would spend there. But then after lunch, we found a driving space, like a really empty space that I could actually practice driving. And my first driving practice, it was not an easy one at all. Like, I wanted to drive through a village. Except for one truck, it was all empty and it was all quiet pretty much. But just 10 seconds after I started driving the car, I hit into the right side of a truck window. And thankfully, it didn't make a big dent, but there also ended up being a dent on the left side window of the car, but we thought that wouldn't be too much of a problem anyway. But then I continued driving and then I hit the left side window into bricks. It was so narrow that, like, when I was trying to get in front of that truck, it was so narrow of a path that I even made a slight accident hitting the front wheel of that truck. Thankfully, nothing happened to that, but even at the bottom part of the front there ended up being a little dent. And right after that, we switched places and then we immediately escaped the area before they tried to put us even more into trouble. Like, what a lucky day that was. I made 2 small dents to a truck, and I even partially cracked the side window on the left into bricks, but nothing got us in trouble at all. We got away with it. So what we did the next day, we found another area that was near a luxury hotel, but again, an isolated area, this time in a forest-like environment. And we went there, and the road was not good at all. It had plenty of bumps, and like, I started to drive in that road, and the first bump, like, I literally jumped my butt off. And then my father told me press the brake, and I immediately pressed the brake, and like, it was some sort of panic. I was like, vroom! Like, hefty action. And it was quite hard to adjust myself. Like, pressing the brake, like, it means you have to stop at this point, but I immediately pressed the brake. Now here's the crazy part of the second day of learning how to drive. So the second day, I didn't get lucky like I did in the first day. At that point, I was doing a parking. So I learned how to park, I put the car back, but it was not a good parking at all. It was a little bit like this. Normally you have to have it straight, but it was a bit like this. So we ended up getting told off and got fined. crazy. That has been a crazy first driving practices for me. And that was back in August 2020. In January of the next year, just 3 days after the New Year's Day, I had another driving practice and I had made a car accident and it took half an hour to solve it. And yes, this was also during a driving practice. I got into a flashing red light and I hit another car by mistake. I did do a vlog about this on my other channel. I had such a crazy experience. Anyway, guys, that's gonna be it for this story time video. I'm planning to do one more reaction video and one drama-based video here as well. I'll see you guys.